The key here is hire the best DUI lawyer you can in Marin County. Someone who's located in Marin County, who has experience there and many years experience as a DUI lawyer, someone who does mainly DUI work or only DUI work. The prosecutors will know them. They will know, I mean, I can tell you, I do most of my DUIs are in Marin County, the San Francisco Bay Area. And when I deal with these prosecutors in Marin County, they all know me. They know that I do just DUI work, and they'll even ask me questions. I mean, I've helped train some of them on some issues. I invite them when they're brand new to ask me questions because they can't always get, hold of someone who knows the legal answer on something. So I treat them with respect, and what that does, because I am a good DUI lawyer in Marin County, is I'm able to know what works and what does not work with these DAs to try and get the best results. It may be, and every case is different. In some cases, and it depends on the charges, because sometimes it's not just DUI charges. Sometimes there are other charges that are attached. There could be a child endangerment charge for a kid in the car or kids in the car. There could be some type of fraud charge with fake IDs. There can be additional probation violations. There could be high speed enhancements. There's so many different things that can go along with these cases. We need to know, with your case, like if you had a really high alcohol level or a prior DUI or a prior stale DUI more than 10 years ago, what we need to instruct you to do from the beginning so that when we are negotiating with the DA, once the case gets started, we already have what we need to present to differentiate you from these other people who got DUIs who haven't done any of this stuff. So the homework we will advise you to do in the beginning, which is usually things like AA classes, and sometimes it's therapy or programs, alcohol programs, sometimes it's community service, sometimes it's, and there are all so many different things that we can suggest for each case, and each case is different, which help us negotiate with the DA. Once we're in the negotiation phase, the assistant district attorneys in these cases in Marin County and other counties too, their hands are kind of tied in that they can only do so much because they have guidelines. Well, an experienced DUI lawyer in Marin County knows what these guidelines are and knows what we can get and how we can get it. Also, these cases will change hands with DAs over time. I've had cases recently which have had 4, 5, 6 DAs over the last 7, 8 months just because they keep switching around. Marin County's been in complete flux lately, and they've lost a lot of lawyers, and a lot of new ones have come in, and there have been DAs that have had 700 DUI cases each on their calendars for a week or 2 or a month, and then all of a sudden they're getting shuffled around. So sometimes the DA we're dealing with may make a difference on a borderline case. I've had cases where, very similar cases where the alcohol levels are pretty much the same, maybe just barely over the guideline on one blow or something like that, where they're willing to reduce it, and one DA will and the other won't. And it's like, you need to know supervisors, you need to know who to present this to, how to present it, and you just need experience. So yeah, hiring a lawyer, hiring an experienced DUI lawyer in Marin County can really help with your case for so many different reasons. But for negotiating with the DA, yes, they can negotiate. There are guidelines that we're dealing with. It's just knowing how to approach these guidelines. Another thing that's really important to know as well, and a lot of attorneys don't know much about this, is when your client has immigration issues, there are ways that we can present immigration background information to the DA to get them to reduce charges. And also, if your client has a professional license or a type of job that will be severely affected potentially by a DUI conviction, that information about that needs to be properly presented to the DA's office. And, we can do that as well. And we have people who are experts in those fields that we can have the client consult with as well, who can get us mitigation information or do like a mitigation letter from someone who deals with professional licenses and things like that, and put it all together in a package to negotiate. I mean, as you can see from my long-winded answer, that there's a lot that we can do. I highly recommend anybody arrested for a DUI in Marin County to get the most experienced DUI lawyer you can. And, you know, it's so worth it now to get the greatest representation possible so that hopefully you have a better chance in the future of maintaining what you do, how you do it, and moving up in life in so many different ways instead of having something like this crush you, because it can if it's not dealt with properly.